What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be getting into my college football, um, all of the bowl games. Every single bowl game, we're going to be predicting all of them. So let's dive right into it. It's bowl season right now. Let's get into it. Starting out with the first game, the first bowl game on Friday at 9:30 a.m. We have Miami, Ohio, taking on UAB. Two 6-6 teams just made the cut to be bowl eligible. I am going to take UAB in this one. I just think that they're the better program. Let's go down here in the Dolph Trading Cure Bowl. We have UTSA taking on Troy. This is actually a very fascinating matchup. We got two top 25 teams that not normally would be in this position. Two teams that have lived up to expectations this season. I'm going to take UTSA. I trust this team right now. I think they've built a very good program over the past couple of years. Although Troy has had a great year this season, I do think that they're going to lose this one just barely to Troy. To UTSA, man. All right, let's go down here. We have Cincinnati taking on Louisville. The Bearcats have had a solid enough year at 9-3 this season. Taking on Louisville in this game, I don't really see Louisville pulling off this win here. I'm going to go Cincinnati. Kind of a frustrating year for the Bearcats, but we're expected to be a top 25 team, but that might just bolster them into that conversation. So now we have Jackson State. Sanders' last game coaching here. He's taken on the North Carolina Central Eagles. All right, Jackson. Yeah. It's an undefeated season for Jackson State. Do I think that'll end against North Carolina? I don't think so. I'm going to take Jackson State. And then we got the Florida Gators taking on Oregon State. Now, the Gators, 6-6 season, might have expected more. They started out the year very good, and then they kind of fell off a map. Oregon State has had a great year, but I'm going to take the SEC team in this game. The Pac-12, I know Oregon State had a great year for this program. This team has been kind of irrelevant, for a while, and they're starting to figure some things out. But I just don't think that they're taking on a storied Florida team, and I just don't think it's going to be enough for Oregon State. So I'm going to take the Gators right there. Let's go down here. We're going to have Washington State taking on Fresno State in this one. The Bulldogs have had an impressive season at 9-4 out of the Mountain West, but Washington State, I do think, is an underrated team out of the Pac-12. I'm going to take them in an upset game right there. Going down here, we have Rice against Southern Miss. I'm not sure how Rice made it. I guess they just get it at 5-7. I don't think that Rice is going to beat Southern Miss there. I'm going to take the Golden Eagles. Going down here, we're going to have SMU taking on BYU in BYU's last game as an independent right here. BYU has not. I'm a BYU fan, so this is kind of frustrating to be in the New Mexico Bowl. We've had a bad year, so anyway, I do think BYU is going to be able to handle their business against SMU, but I would not be surprised if the Mustangs pull off an upset. Going down here, we have Boise State taking on North Texas. Interesting that North Texas got this matchup with Boise State. I don't think that they're really going to have a chance. Boise State is clearly the better team. I'm going to go Boise State. So now we got a Monday night game here between Marshall and UConn. The Huskies, why not take an upset? I'm feeling UConn here. Marshall, they've had a good year at 8-4 this season, but UConn, not really known for their football, but I do think that they get a bowl game win there over Marshall. Let's go down here in the Idaho Potato Bowl. We're going to have Eastern Michigan taking on San Jose State. A good matchup here. 50-50 picks. I'm going to take San Jose State, though, in this one. I just trust San Jose State a little bit more. Going down here, Liberty taking on Toledo. Another good matchup. Liberty's had an impressive season. They dominated my BYU Cougars this year, but also Toledo has had a good year. I'm going to take Liberty, though. This team was in the top 25 at one point this season. They've looked impressive this year, although they have kind of slowed down as of late. I do think that the Flames can beat Toledo in that one. Going down here, we're going to have South Alabama taking on Western Kentucky. I'm going to take South Alabama, the Jaguars, in that one. Going down here, we have the Baylor Bears taking on Air Force. Baylor, kind of a frustrating year. They were ranked 9 coming off the Big 12 championship last year. I think that they're going to be able to beat Air Force there. I just don't think that the Falcons are going to be able to win that one. All right, we have the Louisiana Raging Canes taking on Houston, the Cougars. Yeah, I don't think that Louisiana is going to be able to win that one. I'm going to take Houston there. Going down here, we're going to have Missouri taking on Wake Forest. Interesting matchup. We have an ACC team taking on an SEC team. Missouri just barely made bowl eligibility by beating Arkansas in their last game. This is tough. Wake Forest has had a good year. I am going to take Wake Forest here in this game, but I could see Missouri pulling off that win. We're going to have Middle Tennessee, the Blue Raiders taking on San Diego State in this game. Would be a big upset for Middle Tennessee to pull it off, but I'm feeling it right now. Why not? Let's go Middle Tennessee, the Blue Raiders coming into playing San Diego State in this one and pulling off a big upset. Just haven't been too impressed this season with the Aztecs. All right, now we're going to have New Mexico State taking on Bowling Green. I'm going to take Bowling Green in this one. Going down here, we have Georgia Southern taking on Buffalo. Another interesting one. Let's go Georgia Southern in that game over the Buffalo Bulls right there. And then down here, we're going to have Utah State taking on Memphis. I have Memphis winning this one. They're just a better program than Utah State, in my opinion. Going down here, Coastal Carolina taking on East Carolina. Coastal Carolina's not been good as of late. East Carolina's been an underrated team this season. I'm actually going to take East Carolina in this one on a Tuesday game. Let's go with the upset. Wisconsin's going to be taking on Oklahoma State in this one. Interesting matchup. Wisconsin's kind of had a disappointing year. Oklahoma State has also kind of had a disappointing year. This one's tough. I'm going to go with the Big Ten team, though, Wisconsin. I think that the Badgers can pull off the win over Oklahoma State that game and get to 7-6. UCF is going to be taking on Duke in this game in the Military Bowl. Good game here. The Knights have kind of been disappointing this season. Duke also been kind of frustrating. I'm going to take the ACC team, though. I'm going to take Duke in this one, but this is a big game for UCF. I won't be surprised if they pull off an upset. Kansas taking on Arkansas. Kansas started the year great, and they have kind of completely fallen off the map. Razorbacks has been an up and down season for them. This is a good matchup, though, between the Jayhawks and Arkansas. I'm going to take Arkansas, though, out of the SEC. I just think that they're the better team, but I could see Kansas pulling off the upset. Now we're going to have North Carolina taking on Oregon here. The Ducks kind of choked away the Pac-12 championship game there after losing to Oregon State. I do think that they're going to be able to beat North Carolina. I'm just not a big fan of North Carolina this season. We're going to have Texas Tech taking on Ole Miss. Texas Tech is a good team. Ole Miss has really fallen off the map as of late, but they get some time to rest here in this game. I do think that they're going to be able to beat Texas Tech. Going down here, we're going to have Minnesota taking on Syracuse. The Golden Gophers, I think, could beat the Syracuse Orange. And then Florida State taking on Oklahoma. Frustrating year for Oklahoma, but it's been a good year for the Seminoles. I'm going to take the Florida State Seminoles to pull off the win over the Sooners. Now we're going to have the Texas Longhorns taking on Washington Huskies. A good matchup here between the 20th team in the country and the 12th team. I'm going to take Washington Huskies, though. I just think that they're the better team this season. They played great. 10-2 has been a good season, so I'm going to take the Huskies. All right, let's go down here. We're going to have Maryland taking on NC State, the Wolfpack. I don't see Maryland pulling off that win. I'm going to go NC State. Pittsburgh's going to be taking on UCLA. Let's go. I could very much see a big upset. Let's go Pittsburgh Panthers. Why not? UCLA's kind of been up and down this season. I'm going to go with a big upset here. Let's go the Pittsburgh Panthers, who's been kind of a up and down year without Kenny Pickett this season. Not being able to lead his team to a top 25 team, but I do think that they're going to be able to beat UCLA. North Carolina's going to be taking on South Carolina. South Carolina's been playing great as of late. Also has North Carolina, two teams that has turned around their season. I trust Spencer Rattler a little bit more than Notre Dame, though, but this is going to be a fun matchup right there on December 30th. Should be a game to watch out for. Now we're going to have Ohio taking on Wyoming. I'm going to go with Wyoming. Let's go with an upset there. Only 19% of people going with Wyoming, but I think that they could pull off an upset over the Bobcats. Now we're going to have Tennessee taking on Clemson in the Orange Bowl. Yeah, this is a good game here in the Orange Bowl. Yeah, man, this is tough. Without Hooker for the Volunteers, I just don't know if they're going to be able to beat Clemson. I'm going to go with Clemson in this game. With Hooker, I do think that Tennessee is clearly the better team, but without him, I just don't think that Tennessee is going to be able to win that one. So I'm going to go Clemson. Now we're going to have Alabama taking on Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl. Kansas State's been impressive this season. Honestly, I'm tempted to go Kansas State. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go with Kansas State. Then I'm going to take Alabama, the Crimson Tide, pulling off the win. Kentucky taking on Iowa. Good matchup here between the Wildcats and the Hawkeyes. I'm going to take the Wildcats there. And then we're going to save the college football playoff games for later. Let's just skip over them. I'm going to make another video about my college football playoff predictions later. Let's go down here. We're going to have Mississippi State against Illinois. The Bulldogs taking on the Fighting Illini. I'm going to take Mississippi State. They're just a better team right now. And then a big game for Tulane. We have USC taking on Tulane. Wow, I'm tempted to go Tulane in this one. USC's did not look good against Utah, but I do think they're going to be able to bounce back and be able to beat Tulane in that one. It's been a very impressive season, though, for the Green Wave. Now we're going to have LSU taking on Purdue. Don't really think Purdue should be deserving of taking on an LSU team. LSU's kind of fallen off the map as of late, but I just don't think the Boilermakers are going to have enough there. And then we're going to have Utah taking on Penn State. A lot of people think that Utah is going to be able to win this game, and I'm honestly not sold on the Utes this season. I'm going to take Penn State. Let's go Penn State in this one to advance to 11-3. Although Utah looked very impressive against USC, I think that Penn State is a better team. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Hopefully you all enjoyed the content. Comment down below your bowl game predictions. And anyway, peace out.